Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Goldfish Gladiators. So the last few weeks on our Magic Arena series, we played decks that have been pretty expensive, and expense on Magic Arena basically just goes by how many rares and mythics you have in your deck, because rares and mythics all the same price. Your Karn's Universe, same price as your Glorious End, but it's the same with rares. Your best rare in the set is the same price as the worst rare in your set. So the goal today was to minimize the number of mythics and rares we were playing to have kind of a more budget-friendly, hopefully more accessible to free-to-play mode deck for Magic Arena, and the end result is Mono Blue wins. So this deck has absolutely zero mythics. No mythics, so you don't got to worry about spending any mythic wildcards. It does have 14 rares, which isn't an incredibly low number. I think you can skimp a little bit. You can probably get down to maybe 10 if you really try to cut as much as possible and still have a somewhat functional deck. But still, compared to our last decks, which have been like 20 rares and 11 mythics, we almost had as many mythics in some of our decks as we have rares in this deck. So even if it doesn't count as budget in your opinion, it's still the cheapest deck we've played on Magic Arena so far. So Mono Blue wins basically looking to get aggressive, play favorable wins, a ton of flyers, a little bit of tempo stuff, beat the opponent down really quickly. So the other upside of this deck is it's an aggro deck. So if you're looking to grind the rank queues to earn rewards, or even grind through quick constructed to try to build your collection, you're going to play a lot of fast games with this deck. Most games are over by like turn 5, turn 6, one way or the other. It goes well, we win. It goes badly, we lose. So anyway, a quick reminder before we break down Mono Blue wins for Arena. If you enjoy this deck and you enjoy Goldfish Gladiators in general, it would be awesome of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Mono Blue wins for Arena, starting with the namesake, Favorable Winds. So Favorable Winds, just a 2-mana anthem for all of our flyers. Every single creature in our deck has flying, so this comes down on turn 2, and it just pumps all of our creatures. The rest of the deck, we're basically just trying to curve out with flyers and attack and attack and attack. We have Siren Storm Tamer as our only 1-drop. Pretty powerful because in the early game, it's kind of our Goblin Guide. If we play it on turn 1, play Favorable Winds on turn 2, we're beating down with a 2-2 in the air, and then in the late game, we can use it to sacrifice, counter something to protect one of our more powerful, kind of game-ending finishing flyers. In the 2-drop slot, we got two different options, both of them pirates, Warkite Marauder, Stormfleet, Aerialist. So Warkite Marauder, super sweet in this deck because things like Rekindling Phoenix, Glorybringer, Lyra are fairly heavily played on Magic Arena, and this gives us a way to fight through those and keep attacking. We attack, we turn the Lyra into a 0-1 with no ability, so it can't block, hit our opponent with all of our flyers. Stormfleet Aerialist, on the other hand, is just really big. We raid it with one of our other creatures, comes down as a 2-3. If we have Favorable Winds, it's a 3-4, dodging like a Braids and Lightning Strikes, so just a powerful beatdown flyer. And then in the 3-drop slot, the single best card in our deck, and if you're trying to skimp on the rares, do not skimp on Temptation, because this is the biggest reason to play the Favorable Winds deck. Our mana base, 100% islands, so it usually comes down on turn 3 as a 3-4, and then as we keep making our land drops, it becomes a 4-4, a 5-4. If we get down Favorable Winds, it's even bigger. This is our way to just close out the game super quickly. Nimble Obstructionist, on the other hand, a little fragile in terms of toughness, but it's nice against control. We can flash it in through counter spells at the end of our opponent's turn, or when they tap out for like a card draw spell or something. And then we have a pretty fast clock in the air. A 3-1 does get in a lot of damage. Pumping it with Favorable Winds, helpful as well. Finally, our last flyer is Dreamcaller Siren, which is kind of cuttable. This would be one of the rares I think you could go down. It's fine. It's pretty good. It's nice when we can tap down a couple creatures since we have some pirates, maybe fizzle an attack, swing back for lethal, or even just get a couple flying blockers out of the way so we can keep attacking. But it's not 100% necessary to spend your rare wildcards on it, but it's still a fine top-end threat for our deck. Otherwise, as far as our utility spells, we have mostly bounce. We're mono blue, so our main removal is unsummon in blink of an eye, just to keep kind of tempoing our opponent, slowing them down a little bit while we're pressuring in the air with our flyers. Otherwise, 3 copies of Lookhouse Dispersal. We do have 10 pirates in the deck, I believe. Actually, Siren Storm Tamer is a pirate too, so that's 14 pirates in our deck, which means a lot of the times we're casting it as 2 mana, is like a super mana leak, and it's a way we can fizzle a Settle the Wreckage. We can stop a big flyer that's going to ruin our plans, so so we can keep attacking, hopefully close out the game. Mana base, 22 islands, really simple, really straightforward, pumping our Tempest Gen, no rare wild cards need to be spent or anything, and that is mono blue wins for Arena, and that's our Goldfish Gladiator deck for this week. So this deck is pretty sweet. I don't think it is ultra competitive, but I think it is good enough that you can hit the 4-win mark, the 5-win mark with mono blue wins and quick constructed to keep growing your collection, and it's a lot cheaper to build than our last deck. So if you're looking for something cheap and aggressive, kind of fun and different, this might be a good option to think about. So anyway, we'll talk more about it in the wrap-up. Let's get to the gameplay so you can see how it works. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the gameplay, and yeah, I'll be back in a bit with a wrap-up. Alright, Goldfish Gladiator time. We're finally playing a somewhat budget deck. I'm going to say somewhat budget. I still don't know how you actually define budget on Magic Arena, but there's no mythic, so we're playing a no mythic deck. This is mono blue favorable wins. There are a semi-reasonable number of rares, but no mythics. We'll keep this hand. We got no favorable wins, but we have a pretty good flyer curve and a blink of an eye. So Siren Stormtamer, go. Sound effects. Mountain for our opponent. Passes. I'll play an island. Get frisky with the Stormtamer. And play Worklight Marauder. Pass the turn. So this is probably mono red aggro. Yeah, looks like. So I'm assuming this is just race, essentially. Except our opponent probably has burn spells that can kill our creatures. Trailblazer. I'll play an island. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. And yeah, I think we pass. I think we want to get down Obstructionist this turn. And then next turn we can chart a course and leave up Blink of an Eye if we're desperate. I mean, hopefully we can wait and kick it, but Earthshaker Kenra. Raise Elves. Sure. Not blocking anyway. So opponent hits us for 4. Yep. Ooh. Alright. Well, opponent had to spend a life to do that. This might be okay. So we flash an Obstructionist. Untap. Ooh, Temptation 2. Play the island. Attack with everything. It doesn't matter. Hit our opponent down to 9. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I mean, I guess we just Temptation and pass. I think that wins us the race. We have lethal, and we have lethal with Stormtamer backup. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So even if our opponent has a removal spell, they need 2 removal spells, essentially, to get through this Stormtamer. And I don't think they can kill us here. They're pretty short on damage. That was a pretty impressive performance for mono blue favorable wins. Tempest Jin is, whew, that's a real card. Just play all islands and it's insane. It's a 4/4 flyer for 3. That's like a card that should have cumulative upkeep attached to it. Too good, too good. Yeah, well, I'm trying to think if there's any way we can die. We're gonna be at no, alright. No blocks. Because we can use Stormtamer to counter a burn spell at our face. So even if somehow, I don't think it exists, but even if somehow our opponent had enough burn, we could still just counter it. Opponent untaps. Oh, and wow. Alright, combat, attacks. And that should do it. Now we have double counter backup. Game? Mono blue? Mono blue wins? Either you got something or you're dead. Lightning Strike. Why can't we cast this? There we go. Counter. And that should do it. Woo! Taking down mono red. Mono blue wins. Mono blue wins. Not bad, not bad. That's a good start. Especially, ooh, and a booster pack. Okay. It's going to be depressing because we already have a lot of Dominaria, but let's crack it. We got one card we didn't have before, and a bit of dust. Or Vault Progress. I don't know, I call it dust. Alright, now that's fine. Let's keep winning. That's the most important thing. With our budget mono blue deck, that was a good start against a pretty legit deck. Alright, opponent. What are you on? What are you up to? Ah, okay, we'll keep this. Storm Tamer. Random Bounce. Temptation. Llanowar Elves. Well, Island. Storm Tamer. Opponent. Probably playing like a green-red monsters type deck. Could be like mono green. That is a thing that can happen. Yeah, I guess we take it. Opponent passes. Well, playing Island. Go attacking. Pass the turn. Another forest. Ugh. Okay. Not a huge fan of that. Ticks up. Yeah. Give our opponent, I guess, Branchwalker. Oh. I see. Gotta do the old double click. Is it worth just bouncing Karn? It might be. Yeah, let's do it. Bounce Karn. Untap. Play an island. Play Temptation. Go attacking. Now at least we can pressure Karn on the backswing. We might be okay. We have a pretty fast flying clock. Okay, Branchwalker. Opponent needs red mana. Alright, that's fine. Not a land. Mills it. Ugh, Song of Freyalise. Interesting. Well, play an island. Play Favorable Winds. Get in for 7. And yeah, pass the turn. So opponent turns their stuff into mana dorks. Temptation might be taking it down, though. If they tap out for something big, we can just bounce it. The tempo plan, it's kind of working. Also, opponent being color screwed hasn't hurt. Glory Bringer. Well, that's going back to the old hand. Untap. Play an island. Get in. Pass the turn. Sure. And opposed scoops it up. Whoo! Mono Blue wins. 2-0. 2-0. So far, so good for Mono Blue wins. And more budget friendly than the decks we've been playing in the past. 0 mythic. Intentionally made sure 0 mythics. There are some rares. Warkite Marauder, Nimble Obstructionist, Temptation. So you do need rares, but no mythics for it. Ooh, gold rank 1. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're not scared of you. Gold rank 1. Well, we'll keep it. No creatures, but we do have a bunch of Charta courses. Mountain for our opponent, and Fanatical Firebrand. Gets in for 1. Well, Island, go. Mountain for our opponent. Gets in for 1. And passes. Well, play an island, play Favorable Winds. Pass the turn. Well, now we just need creatures. Mountain. Ugh, on Crop Crasher. Alright. Down to 14. Play an island. Pass the turn. Mounted. Hazarat. Okay. This is actually pretty good for us. Opponent attacks, so we get to Obstructionist. Eat Firebrand. Opponent passes. Go attacking. We're at 11. I want to chart a course to find lands, but if we whiff on lands, I guess it's fine. Let's chart a course. We find a land, play the land, and pass the turn. Magma Spray. Alright. Resolves. On Crop Crasher. We're in trouble. Bounce on Crop Crasher. We're still taking 3. Yep. Play Warkite Marauder. Losing the die roll's been pretty painful here. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Ugh. We beat Mono Red earlier, but we won the die roll earlier. Yep, that does it. Alright, sure. Well, that's only lost 1. We're still 2-1. Which, I mean, for a budget deck, budget decks are not... Magic Arena is so weird with budget decks, especially in tournaments, because the fact that your bad cards cost just as much as the good cards... If we draw a land, this hand's great. If we don't, we auto-lose. We got a mulligan. Alright, we'll keep this. We will keep the land. Island, go. So because of how the economy is set up, it just pushes people to play only the best cards all the time. Favorable wins, go. Gonna have a big old Tempest next turn. Ronus's Last Stand. Opponent gets in for 1. Well, play the island, play Tempest. So mono green Stompy? Man, we could use an unsummon or a blink of an eye. Forest. Opponent's getting in, yeah, we'll take it. Down to 14. More lands. Oh boy, should have played a land. Oops. Yeah, Tempest Djinn is a reason to play lands pre-combat. I'll play Aerialist. Yeah, we left a point of damage on the table. See if that comes back to haunt us. Hopefully not. Ugh, fight spell. That's bad, because now our Dreamcaller Siren doesn't tap. We need 1 bounce spell, and we're just not finding it. Opponent hits us. Separpard. There's a bounce spell. I think we have to not attack this turn. Gotta play D. Bounce the token. Whoo, boy. Dodged a bullet. All right. Staying alive. Double fight spells. Land. Branch Walker. Are we stabilizing? Are we stabilizing? Oh my god. That's a Galta. That's... Oh, Blink of an Eye helps. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we gotta... Okay, so... Combat, attack... Hit hit our opponent. Down to 10. Pass the turn. So now we can... Alright, opponent's out of cards. We got there. There's Galta. Yup. We flash in Obstructionist and win, though. So opponent hits us to 1. But then we have Exaxes on the backswing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No cards in hand. Alright, drop to 1. Obstructionist. Untap. Attack with all. Whoo, boy. Won the race, we won the race. Exactly 10 points of damage. The bounce spells. We needed the bounce spell and we drew one. Up to 3-1. Budget blue wins. Budget blue wins. It's working. It's working. We've been playing high-ranked people, too. Lots of gold. Yeah, we'll keep this. Hopefully we just draw a land and go Tempest Djinn, Stormfleet Aerialist. Worst case, we can always use Charticourse to go digging. Forest. There's a land. So play the land, play favorable winds. So next turn we get down the massive Tempest Djinn. Then we can raid Aerialist. Opponent. You're gonna go... Aw, boo. Well, Tempest Djinn's still sweet. And they get a free land. Well, play an island, play Tempest Djinn. Main deck Artifact 8A. And a free land drop. Foul Orchard. Opponent passes. We'll play an island. Go attacking for 4. Play Aerialist. And we'll pass. We're going to leave up Lookout's Dispersal here now that we have a Pirate. And then next turn we can chart a course. Yeah, we'll counter that. Don't want them to start killing our stuff. Obstructionist. So we'll play the island. All attack. Chart a course. Let's just pass. We can flash in Nimble Obstructionist, and then we should just have lethal. Man, this deck's pretty punishing. Sure. Sure. Madrotha. Okay. So opponent goes up to 12. Can this... Is this enough for our opponent? Jeez. Okay. I guess this is going to keep our opponent alive. I'll flash in Obstructionist. Untap. Play an island. Play a favorable wins. Hit our opponent to 1. Play Storm Tamer. Alright, opponent. You better kill us. You better kill us, opponent. Scoops it up. We got there. We got there. 4? 4-1. Mono Blue wins. Oh, we're cruising. We're cruising. We're cruising. Well, maybe this is a legit budget option for Arena. This might be. This might just be the way to go. I mean, you do need a decent amount of rares. So I still, like I said, I don't know the definition of budget exactly on Arena. It's a little bit questionable what exactly that means. Opponent's on the play. All right, we'll keep. Hopefully we draw. We're gonna need our 3rd land for these Obstructionists. Island for our opponent. All right, looks like Merfolk. There's our land. Well, Island and Storm Tamer. Opponent. Hinterland Harbor. Not the most aggressive start. Silvergill, champion, draws a card. Gets it. I'll play a land. Go attacking. Pass the turn. We're probably going to have to bounce this Deep Root Elite. Land. There's Deep Root Elite. Opponent goes attacking. Yeah, we'll take it. And go bouncing. Untap. Ooh, Aerialist. We'll play a land. Let's play Aerialist. Decent blocker here. Yeah, we'll sack Storm Tamer. We are a little behind on the race. I don't know if we can actually block. It's pretty easy to get blown out. Deep Root Elite. 2 Deep Root Elites. Pumps Mistcloak. Hits us for 2. Oh, play an island. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. I don't know. We're pretty far behind in this race. River Sneak. Yup. Pumps and pumps. Yeah, we might be getting got here. Well, thankfully they went all on the same creature. Land. Well, opponent's almost out of cards. Oh my god, it's a Lord. Wow. Yeah, we're in all kinds of bad shape. Is there any way we can steal this win? Pumps, pumps. So Dreamcaller Siren. Tap, tap. Opponent hits us. Down to 11. Yeah, I think we're done. Too many Merfolk too fast. That's a great Merfolk hand. Charticores. We need it like double unsummon. Yeah, we didn't. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Yeah, that does it. Well, we got Merfolked. Whoo! Oh, we got Merfolked. Man, the best one thing is so odd. It makes the games go by fast, but it's definitely incredibly high variance. Like, it seems like the die roll is kind of everything, or even it's even more swingy. So opponent wins the die roll. Bad news. We'll keep. This is a good hand, but in the aggro matchups, just like who gets to play first? Okay, divest. Well, Island go. Surprised they took Aerialist. Swamp. Well, Island Marauder. And opponent's got much removal. Swamp. Well, Island Tempestion. Good God. Alright. So much removal. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Well. We're in trouble, boys and girls. We are in trouble. More lands. Well, we need to chart a course to try to get rid of some of these lands. We draw more lands. Uh-oh. Yeah, flooding out, and our opponent just went removal, 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 Karn. Yeah, that's that's how it ends, unfortunately. Ugh. Well, because budget decks are very hard to play on Magic Arena, not super disappointed with going 4 and 3. Because budget is just, playing budget in tournaments, it is pretty hard. Opponent. Getting in with the shade. Yeah, there's no... I don't think there's any hope here. I don't think there's any combination of draws that change what happened. Takes up card. Gets a divest. Well, Flash and Obstructionist. I'm sure it just dies. Another land. Holy mother. We even discarded one? That is a lot of lands in our 22 land deck. Yeah. Well, hit our opponent. We're pretty much just going through the motions here for the most part. Takes down Karn. Duresses us. Sure. Gets it. Pumps. 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 Down to 8. We draw another land and we scoop it up. Well, alright. So the deck was sweet, and the deck, oh, man, I think this was a great illumination of the best of one format. I think, if I'm remembering properly, so we end up with 4 wins. We go 4-3. Yeah, for a budget deck, that's fine. I'm pretty sure we won every single time we played first and lost every single time that we played second. And that's kind of how Magic works. That's why Magic is typically played as a best of 3 format, because you do get a pretty significant advantage, especially in an aggro-oriented format like Magic Arena. Being the first one to the 1-drop and being able to curve out quicker automatically puts your opposing aggro deck on the back foot. So interesting to see the influence of the best of one format. But, I mean, for being a budget deck, yeah, it's a fine option. 4 wins it's fine. Ooh, we got a mythic as our reward. We get a Yargle and Madraltha, the Gravetide. Alright, so, I mean, the nice thing about Magic Arena with these constructed events, it was a good rare, too, that we already have. The nice thing about these constructed events is, as you see, 500 gold to enter. So even though that record, 4-3 with a budget deck, might not sound exciting, if you 4-3 consistently, you're getting your money back, and you just saw a reward. So we got a Mythic, we got a Madroltha. If we didn't have so many rare lands, because I really focused on getting them, we would have got a rare land to go with it as well. So it's a good way to grind. So you definitely can grind and make that your goal. Is Mono Blue Wins going to go 7 wins often? Probably not, but it seems like a deck where you're going to win the die roll sometimes. It's super aggressive and fairly effective. We beat Mono Red, we beat Merfolk. We also lost to Mono Red and Merfolk, but we can beat those decks, especially when we win the die roll. So it's a successful quick constructed, basically. If you go 4-3, you get your money back and you get some sweet cards. So we'll take it. We'll take it. All right. I'll be back in a bit with the wrap-up. So what did we learn this week about Mono Blue Wins on Magic Arena? And overall, we played a quick constructed. We went 4-3, which isn't insane, but for a fairly budget-friendly deck, it's pretty fine. So to understand what you're going for on Magic Arena, we got to talk a little bit about how the tournaments work. So the goal, obviously, is 7 wins. 7 wins is the dream, but you can be very successful on Arena with decks that can't get 7 wins. Like, Mono Blue Wins, sure, if we win the die roll often, that was a big thing in our games. I think we won every game where we won the die roll and lost every game where we lost the die roll. But yeah, you could go 7 wins. If things just break right, you hit the right matchups, you win the die roll a lot. But over the long term, it's probably more of a 4-win, 5-win type deck, somewhere in that range. But the thing is, on Magic Arena and Quick Constructed, if you can go 4-3, you not only get your entry fee back, but you also get some cards, including, I believe, at least 1 rare mythic. So going 4-3 consistently with a budget deck, it's going to grind you into a collection. It's going to slowly build up, and I feel like this deck does have enough power to hit that mark, because when we win the die roll and just have a reasonable hand, the deck is very strong and very fast, and able to just beat a lot of decks. A lot of decks don't have a good answer for just this horde of fast-flying creatures. Like, they're attacking on the ground, we can just race in the air, and and we saw that beating decks like Mono Red. We lost to it too when we lost the die roll, but we can beat the Mono Red decks, the Merfolk decks, especially when we win the die roll. So I think that's where this deck fits. It's kind of a, slightly better than 50-50 budget style deck, but going slightly better than 50-50 is going to grind you into a collection, and the fact that you can do this with 0 mythics is definitely a big upside of Mono Blue wins. So just way cheaper. You don't have to spend $100 or $150 on packs to get the cards like you needed with Firesong and Sunspeaker Control, or you needed with the Esper Wrath Flash deck. This is a much better deck for if you're starting off and just trying to grind into those wild cards. Maybe you have earned a few, got a few free ones. The other thing I wanted to mention about the deck is making it even cheaper. So we have in this deck 14 rares, 3 playsets, 1 2 of. So real quick, on our way out the door today, I wanted to just mention those rares and talk about if you can substitute them, how you can substitute them. So first off, we have Tempest Djinn. Tempest Djinn is the rare that you can't substitute. If you have 4 rare wild cards and you're building this deck, buy 4 Tempest Djinns. It is the most powerful, best card in our entire deck, and I don't think you will have the same amount of success if you substitute Tempest Djinn for something else. So this one is just 10 out of 10. You need it in the deck. So bite the bullet, get the Tempest Djinns. They are that good and that important for this deck actually functioning. So don't try to substitute Tempest Djinn. Then we have next on our list Warkite Marauder. And Warkite Marauder is probably like, oh man, a 7 or 8 out of 10. It's a card that you really want in the deck, but in theory, the deck will be worse, but it's probably kind of functional without it. The fact that it lets us attack through opposing flyers is really important. Being a 2-drop is nice. If you are looking to substitute it, the big problem is there's not a great 2-drop flyer substitute. You're looking at like Kitesail Corsair or Artificer's Assistant to add an extra 1-drop, and neither of those cards are very good. Artificer's Assistant, we don't really have historic spell, so it's not really doing anything. It's just a very worse Siren Storm Tamer. Kitesail, on the other hand, doesn't have flying unless it's attacking, so during our opponent's turn, when it's not attacking, or the start of our turn, it gets taken down by like Fanatical Firebrands and stuff. So the biggest problem is there's a huge drop-off from Warkite Marauder to the next best option. So when I consider this deck, I feel like you really need to spend 8 rare wild cards, or get 8 rares one way or another. I think you need 4 Tempest Djinns. Don't even try to substitute them. And really, you kind of need the 4 Warkite Marauders as well. I think the deck will do much worse without them. If you gotta get by in the meantime, you got a couple options, but the deck will be significantly worse. So you need to spend those 8 rares, but then you get a little bit more options. Nimble Obstructionist, I really like in the deck. It's very good in the deck. Sometimes we can stifle a Planeswalker ultimate. We can flash it in control matchups when our opponent's tapped out. It's a fast clock in the air. That said, I think you can play the deck without it. It might be like a 5 out of 10 where it's good if you have it, but you don't necessarily have to have it. The easiest substitute is probably Siren Reaver or Siren Lookout. I think out of these two options, if you're trying to go even more budget, you can go Siren Lookout. It's fine. It's not as fast of a clock. If you miss on the Explorer, it's really bad. Siren Reaver, you gotta spend an uncommon wild card, but it's a very good card in this deck. Because we have enough 1 and 2 mana plays, there's a pretty good chance we can cast it for 3 mana, and then a 3/2 flyer, that's an equal clock to Nimble Obstructionist. So we lose out on the timing stuff where we can flash it in. We lose out on the Stifle, which honestly, it's nice, but it doesn't come up that often that we're cycling it. We're usually casting it anyway. So I think Siren Reaver, it's a fine substitute. The deck is not going to lose that much if you go with Siren Reaver over Nimble Obstructionist. And then finally, we got Dreamcaller Siren, which, meh, this is maybe a 2, a 3 out of 10 as far as how much you need it. It's great, I guess. It's, if you have it in your collection, I think it's the best option in the slot. But in all honesty, you can play Curator of Mysteries, you can play Glyph Keeper, you can play the Siren Reavers and Siren Lookouts. We are a 22-land deck, so making the curve a little bit lower probably isn't a bad thing. You can even just throw in more Unsummons, another Lookouts Dispersal. So don't feel like you gotta go out and wildcard Dreamcaller Siren. The deck does not lose much at all if you run a substitute in that slot. It's a fine card to have in the deck. It ups our pirate count a little bit. Sometimes it's tapping stuff down, which is nice. But I think you can get by just fine without spending the wild card. So that leaves us with, you need to spend 8 rare wild cards on the deck. I'm going to go with that. You got to have 4 Tempest Gens. You really probably have to have 4 Warquake Marauders. After that, there's a lot of substitutes to bring down the rare wildcard count and make the deck a little bit cheaper, a little bit easier on free-to-play mode, and then just play those quick constructeds, grind the ladder, try to get those 4 wins, slowly grow your collection, and then you can either add to the deck or you can go a whole other direction and just use the cards you're winning to build a more tier non-budget deck. So anyway, that's been our Goldfish Gladiator for this week. Mono Blue wins for Magic Arena. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.